Endgame month, which means I'm going to be doing a whole load of Avengers content this month because it's the last time I can talk about the original 6 Avengers before they all get killed off. So I thought I would start it all off with the Avengers Book Tag. Question number 1, Iron Man / Tony Stark, a book that made you laugh out loud. I hate Fairyland. It is one of my all-time favourite comics ever, and it is absolutely hilarious when you are rather sick-minded. Basically, if you like Deadpool, you'll really like I Hate Fairyland because it's quite gory and quite funny and quite subversive of fairy tales and fairyland in general. And quite frankly, watching a tiny 6-year-old girl with bright green hair killing people with an axe, I found hilarious, and I shouldn't have done, but I did. And it was the funniest thing, and it's still the funniest comic I own. I love it. I cannot talk about it enough. I love it. Question number 2, Captain America / Steve Rogers, a book that sends a positive message. I'm going to say odd and true because for this book it was all about sisterhood, loving your sister and sticking by your sister no matter what. And also what I also really loved about this book was the disability representation. I can't say if it was entirely accurate because I don't have that disability myself, but to me personally, I felt the representation was quite good. It was also never just thrown to the side as just sort of a thing that happened to this character, but she's totally fine now or anything like that. It was front and centre for this character without making it the only thing about the character, which I also really, really enjoyed. Generally, it was just a really good book for me, and I loved the message of it. Question number 3, Black Widow / Natasha Romanoff, my personal favourite of the original 6, a book with a badass, kick-ass female character. Rat Queens has 4 of them. I love Rat Queens. I've only just started the series, and I'm going to read the second book in this series this month, hopefully, if I get time to read it, but I loved Rat Queens and its badass, kick-ass female characters because they didn't care what anybody thought about them. They went around hunting trolls and doing magic and kicking ass wherever they went. They didn't let anybody tell them to like calm down or stop drinking so much or shame them in any way. They were just completely and totally at ease with who they were, what they were doing, and they didn't let anybody stop them. And I love that about them. Also, they were quite a diverse bunch of girls as well, which I really, really enjoyed. There was one woman of colour in the cast and someone who was LGBT, which I also really, really enjoyed. It was generally a good time to me. And it's one of my favourites with badass female characters because there's just so many of them and it passes the Bechdel test constantly. It was just great. Question number 4, Hawkeye / Clint Barton, an underrated book you wish more people would pay attention to. Now, for once in my life, I'm not going to say The Hogfather because Terry Pratchett as a whole is quite well loved outside of the booktube world, so instead what I'm going to say is Muddle Earth because this is sort of like a middle grade that happens when you smash Discworld with Lord of the Rings together and then make it more middle grade friendly. It's a great book. I laughed out loud while I was reading it. It had dancing spoons being collected by a dragon. There was a little boy who was supposed to be basically like He-Man or something to fulfill the prophecy, but actually was just a weedy little boy. A troll that couldn't stop crying but was kind of adorable with it. And also a budgie that will not stop insulting her wizard familiar, and I loved it. I thought this was an absolutely brilliant book. It was one of my favourites as a child. And I just really wish more people would read it. It's just a fantastic book. And also it's illustrated by Chris Riddell. So you've got some beautiful illustrations the whole way through as well. And I don't understand why more people don't talk about it because I love it. I think everyone else would as well if they just picked it up. Question number 5, Hulk / Bruce Banner, aka my favourite male Avenger of the original 6. A book that made you incredibly angry. Nemesis. Bloody hell. I could talk about this book for hours, but I won't. All I would say is that the first half of the book was really, really good. Then the second half turned quite tropey in my opinion, and the ending felt like there was more plot holes in it than Swiss cheese. So I was a bit like, what the hell? And it made me incandescently angry. So yeah, that's always going to be the answer to this question unless I find something more infuriating, and Lord help me if I do, because I don't want to deal with that level of frustration ever again. So fingers crossed I never get that again because, oh my god, that book. I could talk about it for hours, but I'm not going to because I need to not do that for my blood pressure, otherwise I will turn green. Question number 6, Thor, a book character whose strength you admire. Sandra from failure to communicate without a doubt, because Sandra lives in the future, and in the future all disease, disability or anything like that has been eradicated, and it is eradicated while babies are still in the womb. But Sandra was born naturally without any sort of intervention, and she was born autistic. And because of this, in this really deeply ignorant world, everyone seems to think that she's good for nothing and she's only on this ship as a token kind of person, which sucks, quite frankly. And she is told by everyone who doesn't live on the ship and doesn't know her that she is absolutely useless. But throughout the story, she proves them wrong over and over and over again, and she never gives up. And that is something that really speaks to me as a person, and I absolutely love that about her. And I cannot stop looking up to her as a character, and her strength was just absolutely beautiful. I can't get over it, quite frankly. I cannot get over Sandra and her strength. It was amazing, and I love her dearly. I don't go a week without thinking about Sandra and her strength, and I cannot wait to continue this series. I've just got to read the prequel first, which will hopefully come about this month as well. And finally, the bonus question, number 7, is Loki, aka my favourite character until Doctor Strange turned up, because I love him. And that is a book with a twist or a surprise that tricked you. Nevernight. I never saw that twist coming at the end. I won't say what it is, in case people haven't read it. But that twist, man, I thought I was going to run out of time to read that book that day. But I carried on anyway and finished it within an hour and sped read it because I couldn't stop reading, because that twist blew my mind and I had to know more immediately and get to the end of the book and find out what happened, because it was just so good. It was such a surprise. It tricked me entirely and I loved it. I cannot get over that twist in Nevernight. I can't. I seriously can't. It was so good. It was so good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below with your answer to these questions and what your favourite Avenger is. I'll also leave a link down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out and talk about more about the Avengers, because I'm always up for a conversation about the Avengers. If you want to see any more of my videos where I will be talking about the Avengers, I will change topic eventually, I swear. Please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time, guys, bye.